What's up? What's up? What's up, beautiful people? This is your girl Chris in the building. I hope all is well. As promised, I'm on Chat with Nola, the podcast situation, which is called Chat with Nola. Remember, we're moving it over here in order to give it its own home, its own place, et cetera, et cetera. Super excited about being here. I'm tired tonight, but I told you guys I was going to come through and do the podcast here. So welcome to the Chat with Nola podcast, official home of our podcast. What's good night? What's up? What you say? Good night, Nola. What's up? Oh, so you good night and what's up? How y'all doing? All right. So I did title this, basically session 1. We're gonna start at 1 as ground zero over here. However, we're going to continue to talk about, as per usual, we're going to continue to talk about celebrity content. We'll talk about spiritual content. We're going to talk about, relationship energy or relationship advice. We can talk about scenarios that you've had and what do I think about it? How should you proceed? We can talk about spiritual gifts, spiritual energy, anything like that. So this is just a channel where we're going to be able to discuss it all. And again, I just wanted to separate it from Blue Nola Tarot. So on Blue Nola Tarot, what will you get? Your traditional readings, your celebrity readings, the readings that we normally do. So know that when you go there, you will see that content, right? Well, I'll be on, of course, I'll be dealing the cards. We'll be doing our readings. And so that reading now will only be focused on celebrity content, or political content or whatever we deem necessary, but it'll be just the cards, right? On this one, we will do a podcast situation. So you'll see this setup, which is StreamYard. Now I got to transfer my other StreamYard over to this one so that I can have my whole full setup. But in the meantime, between time, I'm okay with this. At least I'm here. I'm in the building. Thank you for coming through. We only have 14 people, so people got to get adjusted or accustomed to being over here, but that's fine. Perfectly fine. You say you made it. Thank you for coming through. So for the 14 people that I have in the chat so far, thank you so much for coming through. It'll catch on once people start realizing I'm not over there. So I was on social media tonight. Yesterday we left off talking about Kodak Black. I know that he literally he had a warrant for his arrest. So let's go ahead and pull it up. I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen really quickly. But I saw him on his Instagram. I saw him on his Instagram going live eating a bag of chips. So he can't be too concerned about his situation, because I literally just saw him when I went to get something to eat. He was on his Instagram eating a bag of chips, child. So Kodak Black is not concerned about his situation. Clearly, it is not as critical as we think it is, obviously. So judge issues arrest warrant for Kodak Black. Well, let's start again. Judge issues warrant for Kodak Black's arrest after failing a drug test. One test allegedly came back with traces of fentanyl. So y'all know, let's be clear, y'all know that fentanyl is not prescribed to you. Most times, fentanyl is used in situations where people are hospitalized, they're going through surgery, it's critical. So just know, like, fentanyl is not his prescription. Because remember the last time he got arrested for having drugs on him? Well, he was stopped, he had drugs on him. Remember, he had oxycodone. A lot of people have oxycodone, and he only had 30 of them, so you could classify that as a prescription. But how are you going to classify fentanyl as your prescription? Or are you going to say it's for somebody else, et cetera, et cetera? So when I was looking into this, it says neighbors is not looking good for Donald Trump buddy, Kodak Black. I love that part. It's not looking good for Donald Trump's buddy, Kodak Black. He's wanted by the cops down in Florida after failing a drug test. According to TMZ, an arrest warrant was signed and issued out for him on Thursday. The rapper allegedly violated his bail conditions once he failed the drug test. So they're saying on February 3rd, so the drug test must take a while to come back. On February 3rd, the agency he's supposed to report to for random drug testing says he was a no-show for a screening and failed to submit a sample that day. So not only did you fail a drug test on February 3rd, not only did you fail a drug test, you didn't even report to the next one. They said, but they allege it came back with traces of fentanyl. Let me read that again. Okay, wait. So on February 3rd, the agency he's supposed to report to for random drug testing says that he was a no-show for the screening and failed to submit a sample that day. The following week, on February 8th, that same agency says Kodak did submit a sample, but alleged that it came back with traces of fentanyl. So it came back, and now that one has traces of fentanyl. Okay. This is sad because once they catch him, he's going to be sitting in the slammer without bond until the next hearing. If he's caught, there's additional orders to hold him without bond until his hearing from a previous case involving oxycodone is held. Then it said via Complex back in July of 2022, Kodak was arrested after police pulled him over and claimed they discovered 31 oxycodone pills following a search of the vehicle he was in. He ended up being charged with possession of controlled substance without prescription and trafficking in oxycodone. His attorney argued that the rapper was legally prescribed the oxycodone that cops seized from the rapper. He ended up being released after posting bond, but one of the conditions of his release was that he would regularly test for drugs. Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to read and all that good stuff. So basically, this is where he is, Kodak Black, his situation, his condition, and it's looking pretty serious for him. So then I'm going to Popeyes, right, to get something to eat. This had to be about an hour and a half ago, maybe. And I'm seeing Kodak Black. He jumped on his live on his Instagram, right? And he decided to open up a bag of chips. I guess that was some chips, and decided he was going to eat. He was going to get a snack. He was on there maybe 5 minutes total, maybe 5 minutes. And then he jumped off. Like the live just went off. So he doesn't seem too concerned about his bail conditions. He doesn't seem too concerned about his situation as it relates to his his arrest warrant. One would think if you have an arrest warrant that you would that you would actually go in there and provide some kind of indication that you have received it. I know you on the internet. I know you received it. So anyway, that's the situation on him. Let me let Instagram know I'm on Chat with Nola podcast. Hold on 1 second. I don't know why my Instagram acting a damn fool today, y'all. What's up, Kim Stewart? How y'all doing? So we have about 14 people in the chat. Make sure you like this. It's going to take some time for people to know and get used to it being over here. So no big deal. Let me tell Instagram I'm over here too. All right. So anyway, that is what's happening on Kodak Black. Unfortunately, this is not a good situation for him because not only did you not only did you miss a drug test, when you came back, you tested for traces of fentanyl. And now, basically, they have conditions of you turning yourself in. So this is seeming pretty, this seems pretty serious for Mr. Kodak Black, and I hope he takes it seriously. I'm going to pull a few cards just around it just really quickly. Let me just let Instagram know that I'm on the live stream. I already let you know, but let me let them know that I am on right now. Let me see. I just put on air. I'll just say that. All right, so that's it. Let me just say on now. All right. So basically, that's what I have for Mr. Kodak. He's pretty much in a situation where he's in a pickle. Okay, I'm sending this to Instagram right now. All right, so let me see. Almighty Peace said this slide was exactly what I needed to storm get me out of my mom's house. Oh, you got to get you say the storm got you stuck at your mom's house. Okay, gotcha. All right, so that's the situation on old Mr. Kodak Black. So he's in trouble. We're going to pull a few cards just to see how this is all going to play out for him. Spirit, please give me the energy around Kodak Black. Judge issues a warrant for his arrest for failing the drug test. What will be the consequences of this situation? And he has in his energy the Eight of Wands coming through. The Ace of Swords is coming through as well. I don't feel like he's turned himself in yet, and that was a good indication with him being on that damn live stream eating a bag of chips. There's no way you have a warrant for your arrest and you're on live. You missed the drug test and you're on a live stream. He has the Four Swords in reverse. He has the Four Swords and he has the Star card. He has two swords in here. The Ace of Swords and the Four Swords with that Star card. That could really represent, especially with that Ace of Swords and that Four Swords. Four Swords is similar to like an imprisonment situation. It could be like you're being held down, you're being held, you have a convalescent period. The Ace of Swords is definitely a situation where, they take his, he is held accountable for his consequences. I'm going to be honest, I don't know how his lawyer is going to get him out this situation. His star energy is in reverse. And that represents, there's, like I said before, even without the cards, there is no reason he should be walking around taking fentanyl. Again, there is no reason in the world for the people who are in the healthcare profession. I do a lot of nurses and people in the healthcare profession. There is no way in the world that he should be walking around with fentanyl in his system. I don't know what planet he on. He's going to court good. But it definitely shows like he could. Now, this is the deal. He's going to court, and they do look like there's some restrictions imposed upon him. He does have the Eight of Swords. That was the first one I said. Those Eight of Swords could be like they could work something out with him, but I'm telling you, he has an imprisonment aspect right behind that. That Four of Swords is him being like restricted. So maybe that restriction could be house arrest. Maybe that restriction could be confined to the home. Like, right, you can't go anywhere. They limit you to the house or wherever you got to go and then back, right? You don't have the freedom. I believe at one point they had him like restricted, and then he asked for some type of conditions lifted where he could travel. They may restrict him again, right? You just don't walk around with fentanyl in your system. You don't walk around missing your drug test. You don't walk around doing stuff like that, and there are no consequences or repercussions, right? So he has to be accountable at some point. So what's up, Monday? How you doing? Thank you for coming through. He's going to court. Yep. Okay. Thank you. You said peace and love, like Queen. Thank you. And then we have, he's probably took drugs that was laced with fentanyl. It's still fentanyl, right? Fentanyl is deadly. I was saying it earlier when I first got on, like, in the very beginning, Prince was taking fentanyl, and fentanyl is pretty serious. If you watch if anybody's in the healthcare profession, they'll tell you you're not being prescribed fentanyl. Like, you're just not being prescribed fentanyl walking around. Like, that is used for people who are going through real situations, surgery. They may be like in ICU or something like that. But fentanyl, he has no reason to have fentanyl in his system. So I would be surprised if they really get him out of this pickle this time. I would be surprised. What you say? All he has to do is stay clean. Well, let me say this: it's easier said than done. A lot of people have addiction, right? Addiction is serious, whether it's drug addiction, alcohol addiction, gambling addiction. Addictions are not easy to, they're not easy to break. It's very hard to break an addiction, and especially if you're at a point where you're taking fentanyl. I mean, your situation is pretty serious, right? I mean, you're at a place where you're taking fentanyl, not oxycodone, not weed, not you're taking, that's pretty serious. You're risking your life. Every time you take drugs, you're risking your life, but you're really risking your life at this point taking fentanyl. So we'll see how it plays out. Right now, this looks like some conditions will be imposed upon him. That's for sure. And it will slow him down in terms of the way he's moving to some degree. His star card is in reverse energy, and that's a slowdown. So he goes from this nice push forward to consequences almost being pulled back, and then he has a slowdown. So, and I'm gonna be honest, I like Kodak Black. Do I like the comments he made about Rihanna? No. Do I like how he was coming after Meg about the Tory Lane situation? No, but I can separate that. I like him as an artist. I think he's very different. He's very eccentric. He has his own way and his own style. So I do like Kodak Black, but Kodak he's got to stay clean. He's got to fly right. And he's got to, and he literally had a second chance when Donald Trump gave him a pardon. Like that was your second chance, and you're messing that second chance up. So that's the energy around Kodak Black and the situation that he's gotten himself into. I know when I saw him online eating some chips, child, I was like, baby, what is this man doing? I guess he ain't too concerned about that damn arrest warrant. So anyway, that's the situation on Kodak Black. Anybody have any questions about that, or anybody have any thoughts on it? I'm going to leave this one up. This is our first official podcast for this new home that we are in. And again, more people will join, more people will discover it, more people will come on. People get stuck in one place, right? That's like when people lose their channels and then they try to rebuild again. Notice a person can have almost 40,000 subscribers and then they lose their channel. And then when they try to rebuild, it's like, damn, they starting all over again. Now they can't even get up to 3,000 people. I don't know where all the people went, but it's really hard to build another channel. The beauty of this channel is that this channel was actually already, a channel that I was using here and there for vlogging and also to some training, some tarot training. But this channel is also used, it also houses, it does house my private readings. So the clients who actually get private readings are already on here because I send them their content from here, but I just make it a private link so that it's for their eyes only. Okay, so that's the beauty of this one. So I was able to slowly build it up, quietly build it up to the audience that I have it at now. It's just that people got to get to, get used to it being over here, but they will. I may jump on Blue Nola and sessions with Chat with Nola at the same time and push people over. I noticed a lot of people have been doing that too, where they'll jump on both at the same time, and they'll say once people from Blue Nola starts to pile in, and then you push them over to Chat with Nola. What's up? Booked another reading. Thank you. I appreciate you. Don't forget. Let me put that in the chat. I always forget until somebody else says it. I am running a $60 special, and it's 6 questions. Baby, this is a juicy package. Let me tell you something. I was laughing last night about how on the other channel, how people, I give the questions, there's so many questions that by the time you get to question number 5, you don't even have a question anymore because the readings are very detailed. I'm very thorough with what I'm saying. I make sure that you have confirmation. I'm a stickler for that. Let me tell you why. There have been times that I've read for people and they'll come and tell me, oh, I had a reading and I was confused. I had a reading, but I wasn't clear. It's not about the other person. For me personally, that's a pet peeve of mine. That pet peeve of mine is that and I tell clients this now when I'm reading for them in the beginning of the session, this is my spiel. Thank you for booking. I appreciate you. The other thing that I say to clients is that, the reading that and I'll tell them the type of reading they ordered. So the reading that you ordered, like the $60 special, the reading that you ordered today, of course, is 6 questions. You're going to have about 6 to 7 minutes per question if you want to get them all in. Questions can be love, family, friends, relocation, education. It can be a legal situation. It could be a health situation. Now, the reason why I do that is because I come from the casino environment. I'm used to doing packages, right? I'm used to doing packages. So I don't require my clients to just stick to one topic, right? Like some readers, they'll tell you can only do a love reading or you can only do a career reading. I don't do that. I let you pick your 3 questions, your 4 questions, your 5 questions, your 6 questions. So you can do one technically on love. You can do one on relocating. You can do one on, your health. You can do one on, a person you work with, that a promotion. You can choose whatever the questions you want. The only thing that's not in this package, of course, are questions related to deceased loved ones. This package is technically $125 to $135 on the channel, so you're getting a reduced deal. The other thing I tell people when they get it, right? I want them to be comfortable when they get the reading. It's like talking to a friend that does spirituality, that does tarot, that reads cards. So I tell people, be comfortable when you get your reading. Don't be guarded, be comfortable. But the main thing I tell people is that before you leave this phone call, I want you to have clarity. Do not leave this phone call. I repeat, do not leave this phone call and then be talking about you didn't know what I meant. Because that's a pet peeve of mine. So if I got to repeat the date, the time, the situation, the location, I'm going to do that because that's important to me. And I want people to be clear. I don't mind people recording it as long as they tell me in advance. So that's how I kind of do my readings. And again, it's 6 questions, but by the time most people get to the 5th and 6th question, they'd be like exhausted. I'd be exhausting them because it's so specific, right? But yep, don't forget to book at that. I saw people booking tonight too. I just saw like a few people come through. I saw your email. The moderators, so for example, I will tell you so I should say the earliest I can put you in, like not same day, next day. But for example, let me look at my schedule right quick because I would be out of my mind to offer, because when I thought about it, I'm like, I have so many people, I would be delusional to say same day, next day service. Sometimes I can't even fit same day, next day people in. And that's $111, right? So for example, today, I do international. We just do WhatsApp. So you call. So if you schedule a reading, you just call me through WhatsApp at your designated time, baby. We're gonna roll on a WhatsApp, okay? And I also offer video readings. So you would get your own personalized video, just like the YouTube videos. And it's gonna be a full video and a full setup, just like you see on YouTube. It'll be your own personal YouTube video with your questions. But I absolutely do international clients. I have clients that are in the UK. I have clients who are in China. I have clients that are in Trinidad. I have clients that are all over the place. So they just have to call me through WhatsApp at their designated time. And usually they book, for example, my client that is in Australia, one of my clients, not the client, but one of my clients is in Australia. I think she books for 9 o'clock my time. She books at 9 o'clock her time, which would be 6 o'clock my time. So she always book at the latest hour. So for example, she'll book on the schedule 5, 6 o'clock because it's 8, 9 o'clock her time. So if you book to the latest time on the schedule, then it won't be too early for you and it won't be too late for me. But back to the question. So for example, let me go on my schedule right quick. Hold on. Let me look at this schedule. All right, so I'm just gonna take a quick look at it so I can answer Tay. So if you're a moderator or if you're a member, you're reading, if you book the $60 reading, you get to bump your appointment up. So for example, if you booked an appointment on the 13th, you won't have to wait until the 13th. So right now we are at, let's see where we at on the calendar. I'm gonna take a look. Let's look and see. So right now we're okay. Right now we're gonna be on the 27th, right? technically, I can put you in on, technically, I could probably do like Tuesday or Wednesday, technically, right? So that would be the soonest, or Saturday. So that would be like an example of what I would be able to do. Let me see. So I'm gonna rephrase that and restate that and say it'll be like the next available that I can do, because it definitely, the schedule can get pretty hectic, in terms of the bookings, right? So I'll definitely like add you into the next one. So it could be like Tuesday, Wednesday, and again, it'll have to be like when it's convenient for you too. So I'll look at that. So when I talk to everybody again, if you're listening to this, it's going to be like the next thing that's available that won't overwhelm me too, because there are days like I have too many people. All right. So does that make sense? So I'll look at the calendar and see what works. But beautiful Tay, you get video uploads, right? You get video uploads, right? So your video, see, and if you get a video upload, that's easier for me, because I can do your video upload in the morning and then send it. So it'll be like Tuesday, Wednesday. All right. So it'll be like Tuesday, Wednesday. All right. But yeah, the schedule could get pretty hectic, and the schedule could get pretty, the schedule could get pretty hectic. So I'll give you an example, and I'm going to put it on an old schedule so you won't see anybody. But I'll give you an example. Let me share my screen again. I'm going to share my screen. I'll just give you an example how my schedule kind of looks to me. All right. And Wix. And I'm using the old schedule just so you can see, so you won't see anybody's information. All right, so back to StreamYard. Okay. You see how the schedule looks? So like I'm just using something from December, so you won't see everybody's schedule. But look at this. So you see how the 26th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 27th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 28th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That reading that's in the red, that reading is about an hour long. So as you can see, I only took one person that Friday just to have a day off. But you see how my schedule flows is like I'm technically only having Sunday off, if you look at it. So this is this is December, so I'm not showing you anything in January, so you won't see anybody's name or anything. But this is kind of like how my schedule looks when I'm booked, when I'm trying to add people in. So for example, if somebody wanted an emergency appointment, right? I would have to try to fit you into those time frames. Friday, I do some traveling on Friday. I do some errands on Friday. So Friday is always a light day. Sometimes I do add people onto Friday, but this is an example of what I'm seeing. Even on Saturday, that day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for example, and this lady at the end, her schedule is bigger. The last schedule on December 31st, that last schedule is bigger because that person paid 2 for 2 readings. So I made that an hour at the end. The last one on December 31st is like, you can see the one is wider. So as you can see, when you look at these schedules, so for example, if somebody wanted an emergency reading on Monday, I would have to try to fit it in between my daughter. I picked my daughter between at 1:40. So I would have to put you in at 6 o'clock, technically. Say, for example, look at the 26th. I would have to put you in at 6 o'clock p.m. in order to give you a schedule. If you wanted the emergency reading on the 27th, I would be able to take you at 12 because I got a space at 12. I would be able to take you at 5 because I have a space at 5. The 28th, I would be able to take you at like about 5. Same thing on the 29th, I would have been able to take somebody like at 6. Friday is a light day for me. So I try not to take no more than 2 or 3 people, maybe 4. Saturday, I space it out. That big break in there is breaks. I'm taking actual breaks. So like, for example, between 2 and 5, like I'm literally taking a break to run errands, eat, take care of stuff throughout the house, but still, and then I might not take a person until 11 o'clock so I don't have to wake up too early. But this is an example, just so y'all can see. This is an example of what my schedule looks like every single week, just so you know. So when you ask for an emergency reading, this is kind of how I'm plugging you into the schedule. For example, for Beautiful Tay, I'm gonna look at the schedule and see what works. It looks like Tuesday and Wednesday may be a better day. The latest would be Friday. Blue Nola making her MF money. Yeah, but that's because I be working, I be making sure I send y'all the flyer. I be making, now I'm on my YouTube channel that actually gives me an uptick in business. But just this is an example of what my schedule looks like, okay? So y'all will know what I'm looking at when I'm looking at my schedule. All right. So anyway, that was that little demonstration. So right now, again, just so we can get off that topic, it's on the screen, $60 special, 6 questions at BlueNolaTarot.com. You get about 35, 40 minutes. So don't forget to book. All right. So anyway, let's see. Is there anything else I want to talk about? Because it's getting late. I promised that I was going to come on tonight. So that's why I'm here. So I don't want to start saying, oh, I'm coming and I don't come. So I will email you tomorrow to confirm what I have available based on the schedule. I don't see anything else that's out there except that Kodak Black situation that I want to talk about. Was there anybody y'all want to talk about? They got 27 in the chat. And again, this is going to be the new home of the podcast, and we're just going to float people over here. I will not be going back to Blue Nola Tarot with the podcast. This will be the new home of the podcast situation. And we're going to be talking about, I don't care what it is. We're going to jump on this sucker whenever we get ready and talk about whatever that I don't deem as a official reading, right? If it doesn't require us to do an official reading on it. Oh, well, let's talk about this little situation. So, one of Kodak Black's artists had some words with I think it was Lotto. Lotto had done an interview where Lotto was talking about how she doesn't charge girls for how she's all about the girls, right? And this artist came through and said, Lotto full of shit. You just subscribed? Thank you. I appreciate it. Cardi B future, career future. Okay, gotcha. Let's go ahead and share the screen on this. Since we're talking about Kodak Black, let's just let's look at this too. I saw this today. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at it. Oop, Kodak Black's artist, VV. Oh, child, I don't even know your name. Change it. VVSNCE calls out Lotto for lying about being a girl's girl when it comes to working with other female artists. Says Lotto declined to have her on feature. On here capping, acting like you all for the girls when you're really not. That shit is weird. So pretty much, Lotto had an interview with Billboard, and Lotto was talking about, how, she was all about the girls, and she brought up the whole situation with Nicki Minaj again, talking about, she was just so surprised that situation broke out with Nicki Minaj. This is why you cannot throw a stone living in a glass house. Repeat, this is why you cannot throw stones living in a glass house, because somebody gonna come out and talk about your ass, right? Lotto is fake, in my opinion. Lotto rode, I know she says she don't charge, but remember, she says she's for the girls. She says she's for the girls. She says she's for the girls, so you for the girls, right? I was going to say that. She did say she don't charge, but she didn't say she would be selective. You're absolutely right. But this is just an example of how somebody could come out and say, you're for the girls, right? The whole point is you're not for the girls, right? She said she's for the girls. So she says she don't charge for the feature, but her second statement was she's for the girls. And this girl is coming out saying, no, you're not for the girls. No, you not really for the girls. I'm not saying she shouldn't be selective. I'm telling you, on Blue Nola Tarot, I'm selective as hell. Actually, I don't want to collaborate with nobody. This is a solo. I'm solo damn dolo over here. They're gonna say the same thing about me because people be too damn messy and too petty. Just see how this chick just came out talking about what Lotto said. But again, when you say you're for the girls, you just should have stuck with, you know what? I don't charge for features. when it comes to other female artists, right? You don't have to say you for the girls because you're not for the girls. You turn this girl down. So don't make a blanket statement when you know that's not true. Now you could have preferenced it with I am selective though, but you forgot, right? Just like she complained and cried about Lotto, about Lil Wayne turning her down for something. Did she try to put him on blast and try to say, that they wanted her to sleep with, if somebody wanted her to sleep with them? And Lil Wayne came and crushed her little soul and told her, baby, I don't even run my Instagram. So couldn't have been me, not me, never. I've never known Lil Wayne to get on his Instagram. Nobody could. I've never heard anybody accuse Lil Wayne to get on their Instagram and tell him they had to sleep with him for a feature, and you're not even his type. So at the end of the day, karma. What goes around comes around. Just like you outed Lil Wayne when you could have had that conversation with him behind the scenes and say, hey, I had put in to do a feature with you, but somebody made it seem like I had to sleep with somebody. You could have cleared that with Wayne and I made a situation, but you didn't. So just like you entitled to put somebody on blast, this chick, VVSNCE, she could put you on blast too, baby. When you open that gate opens for everybody. See, that's what people don't get. When you talk and make sure that what you throw out that you can get back. Because I recall clearly you were talking about Lil Wayne or somebody from Lil Wayne's camp made you feel like you had to sleep with them for some music. And instead of you having that conversation with him to clear that up, you brought that to social media. So this chick, if she want to bring this to social media, I'm perfectly fine with that, baby. Whatever. I don't care. Let's see. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Absolutely, 100%. The artist also said Kodak was going to do her a feature if she did a feature for his artist, and she turned it down. Yep. I read that. But the point is, when I just wish, like, for example, if I have an issue with Shamika, right? Shamika Michelle, I'm gonna go talk to Shamika. I don't need to get on Instagram and start going cuckoo on Shamika. Me and Shamika have a problem. We have an issue. We have a situation. Let's be adults about this situation. Too many people, well, that's a way for people to expose people. That's a way for people to go viral. That's a way to put negative light on another person. But again, if this lady wants to speak and say she's not really for the girls, that's her issue. That's on her too. Because at the end of the day, Lotto didn't take no liberties on Lil Wayne. Lotto didn't give no Lil Wayne no pass when she ran an Instagram and talked about how she felt like they was making her feel like that she had to sleep with somebody. Did you talk to Lil Wayne behind the scenes? No, you ran your regular little ass to light skin ass to Instagram and try to put him on blast until he broke your little heart and told you he don't even run that shit. So guess what? If you can dish it, baby, you better learn how to take it. Anyway, I like Lotto. Period. I like Lotto. I mean, I don't have no issue with Lotto. But what happens to too many people just willing to put people on blast? I mean, it's always something. I didn't like that she put that out there and then she didn't clear it up, knowing the sexual harassment is a big deal. I didn't like that either. That's what I'm saying. You put that out there. You didn't clear it up. You were being very, everything was very gray. Then it wasn't until Wayne came out and said, first of all, I don't even run my Instagram. What are you even talking about? Right? Y'all do know he have a bunch of people around him. He has multiple social medias. I'm not saying he could or couldn't have. I'm just saying, like, first and foremost, when have we ever heard about what Lil Wayne got to take from her? You not even, like, first of all, bye. This girl here, she was basically riding on Nicki Minaj, doing Nicki Minaj music until her and Nicki Minaj fell out. Didn't she leak her phone and convos? Yep, that's what I'm saying. She leaked the phone conversation with Nicki Minaj. She tried to put Wayne on blast. Notice these people coming from the camp of Young Money. I'm just saying. So if this chick, VVSNCE, come through and want to say something, that's on her. Period, point blank. She has a young mindset because she has a young mindset because why do we know all this drama, laugh out loud? But Beyonce would never. She did leak that combo. She sure did. One thing you gonna do is step up for Lil Wayne. Because I was like, how excuse my French, you came up, you said some situation that went down, you alluded to some sexual harassment, somebody wanted you to give a little bit of coochie, but you never cleared it up. And it wasn't until he said, I don't run the social media, that you just backed it all the way up, but you never cleared that up. I guess one day you're going to come out to your back pocket with something else. I just want to know if she's really dating Industry Boo. She says it's private, but I ain't seen this ghost. Let's ask that question right quick. Give me the energy around Lotto. Is she actually dating 21 Savage? Is she serious? He comes up as the Knight of Wands in her energy. He is in her life. Confirm the energy around Lotto. Is she dating 21 Savage again? What's the energy around them? Give me the energy around Lotto, 21 Savage. They're definitely in a relationship. He definitely likes her, and he's definitely playing her for a fucking fool. Let me be very, very clear. He's playing her for a fool. Even young chicks in the industry with successful music careers getting played, huh? Because he is lying to her about his situation. I don't want no knight in my life. I need a king of pentacles at least. Period, point blank. Period. So she definitely is in a relationship with him. I said, I be saying that too when I be reading for clients. I say, y'all need kings. Y'all need these knights. These knights is childish, child. But anyway, he's definitely in her life. He's definitely been dealing with her for at least 2 years or more. He has the Two of Pentacles in here. They're very comfortable together. They definitely have a solid relationship. He's lying to her, guys. I wanted to call y'all girls. He's lying to her. He's not telling her the whole story, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth about his real situation. There's something that he's not telling her. He has musician energy. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I would be surprised if he really be with her, like for real in the future. She technically thinks she knows the story, but she doesn't know everything. He makes it seem like the relationship he's in is a relationship for convenience, it's a relationship for business. But he's not telling her the truth. So he definitely shows in his energy that there's some he's not being totally honest with her about what's really going on. Cheating on her. I mean, I'm just saying he's just not telling the whole truth about his real situation. That's what it looks like to me. Give me the energy again around 21 Savage. Is he actually married? 21 Savage. Is he actually married? Is he in another relationship? Because he's lying about something. He's not giving her the whole story. And guys with money can have a second place. They could be, he's lying to her, comes back as he's lying to her again. And this is why he won't go public with her. There's something about he's actually got one of the cards of marriage, but his marriage is also, I also believe that he has a message here, like he could be in a situation, guys. And this is why he's protective of it. He's not saying it. He's playing it safe. He's restrictive in his energy. He literally got on an interview and said, I am not dating anyone from the industry. Do you think he could do that with a grown-ass woman and he could still be with her and get a tattoo? If you literally said, if one of y'all were dealing with somebody and said, this man got on public TV, on national TV, and said, I'm not dating anybody from the music industry or from the industry. I'm not dating anyone in the industry. Our relationship would be fucking done. It would be donezo. She has in her energy. He's hiding her. The Page of Swords is also too. He's lying to her, right? He's going to only want you to see what he wants you to see. That Eight of Swords, the relationship has restrictive energy on it. This is why she do little childish shit like showing the tattoo by mistake. This is why she do little slick stuff to put it out there. But this man is basically telling her, like, it's like that chick I saw on Instagram where her boyfriend said she couldn't post him on Instagram. I saw a post where this girl kept saying her boyfriend wouldn't allow her to post her on Instagram. Is he really married due to the issues with his visa? Is he married for convenience sake, or is he in a real relationship with this person? He has the High Priestess with her. He has the World card with her. He has the Six of Cups with her, the Six of Pentacles with her, the Justice card with her, and the Ten of Wands. I don't. That don't look like a man that's doing something just for visa's sake. You have high priestess with this person. This person is a part of your life and a part of your future. Y'all have an understanding that's beyond just that. Y'all have the world card together. That is a life of fulfillment together. Y'all have the Six of Pentacles. You share more than just business. Y'all have the Justice card. They have a legal contract with each other. Legal contract like married, children, family. But he does have the Ten of Wands with her, so he's lying to her too, right? That Ten of Wands could also be he's not telling her the truth all the time. So I don't feel like this man is just in a relationship with this lady. I bet you the money if you had a fly on a damn wall, and the moon card just came through saying he lying. I bet you the money if you had a fly on the wall, I see him at home on the sofa, eating dinner, chilling at the mall with the kids, doing the thing. You gotta watch him. You gotta watch him. The man literally came out his mouth and said he is not dating anyone in the industry, but you have a whole tattoo on your ear for him. I wish I would. I wish I would. And then this card flew over here when asked about marriage. That's the Sun card. That's one of the cards of marriage or union. All right. Anyway, guys, this is the situation on Black and his legal turmoil. We'll see how this plays out. Again, this is a podcast situation. Sometimes the cards will be used. Sometimes the cards won't be used. I want to jump on here, get through the podcast, make it happen, Captain, and we're gonna keep it moving. And again, this is the Chat with Nola podcast. Thank you to the 32 people that finally that showed up. And then, I will jump on both Blue Nola and this one and push people over so people will know about it. All right. Anyway, these podcasts are for entertainment purposes only, and we're going to see how the situation with Kodak Black plays out. I do feel like there's some restrictive energy coming towards him, and when it does, when all the dust settles, whatever way it goes, we'll come back and we'll talk about it again. Y'all have a good night. Take care. Stay blessed. We've been on about 48 minutes and 34 seconds. And don't forget, I have a special that's happening now. Monet is here. Beautiful Monet. And it says book your $60 6-question special reading at BlueNolaTarot.com. And this, again, is the Chat with Nola podcast, our first official podcast on this particular channel. And I'm going to make them long enough so we can get our watch hours in so people can listen to them and all of that. Again, we're going to be talking about celebrity content, political content. We're going to be talking about love. We're going to be talking about like spiritual gifts, spiritual energy. We're going to be talking about, we're going to be doing it all over here, guys. So like we may even do a day where we just talk about like, relationship energy, like a scenario you went through, like you're going, for example, Shell Yavelle is dating this guy. And, she wants to get the energy around, like, is he being truthful? Is this her person? We may even do something like that, right? Where she tells us a little story about what happened and we kind of dissect it. And people can give their opinion and their advice, right? So we'll do little stuff like that, all right? So have a good night. Take care. Stay blessed. First official podcast over here on the Chat with Nola podcast. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings. This is Chat with Nola podcast, session 1. Period. Point blank. Bye. Thank you. Catch the replay. Y'all have a good night. Take care. Stay blessed, encouraged, and empowered. Peace.